A nameless assassin is betrayed by her handler, her family and friends executed, and she's shot in the head. She miraculously survives, but she lost her unborn daughter in the process. She embarks on a roaring rampage of revenge to track down and kill every member of the Deadly Viper assassination squad, culminating in their deadly, feared leader in the 2003 action epic Kill Bill. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre,
I'm Colton Jenkins.
and this is Filmgazm. Welcome to the Filmgazm podcast. Our anniversary spotlights continue with part one of Quentin Tarantino's ode to 70s martial arts movies and grindhouse features, Kill Bill, starring Uma Thurman as a warrior known only as the Bride. Kill Bill Volume 1 is celebrating 20 years this year. We'll only be covering Volume 1 of Tarantino's action opus, but we will absolutely cover Volume 2 in the future. What's your experience with Kill Bill?
I always say my dad. I'm gonna say it again. I remember coming downstairs one night to get water or something, and they were watching it, and they had to pause it because my mom and my dad were watching it, and I was like, "Oh, I want to watch this." I was like, "No, get the fuck back upstairs and go back to sleep." So I finally watched it. It was my first Tarantino movie, and I loved it so much. And it wasn't Kill Bill, it was Inglourious Bastards, which is the second Tarantino movie I ever watched. But Tarantino was the guy who made me realize I loved movies with Inglourious Bastards. It's the movie that made me a movie guy.
Damn, that's awesome. That's really cool. I had a similar experience with Kill Bill. It was Kill Bill 2 though. I think it was on a vacation house or something. I remember it wasn't our normal TV, and I was in the other room, and I walked in on Kill Bill Volume 2, and I started watching it, and my family was like, "Yeah, okay, you can watch this one." They wouldn't let me watch the first one, so I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't know who this was or what she was doing. I just remember Bud going wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. A while later, I ended up watching the first one, and I thought, "Oh, this is badass." And so Kill Bill 2 was officially my first Quentin Tarantino, and I never looked back. Weird great. Watching the second one first because you're just like, I don't know why, but I like this.
I know he refers to them as one movie.
Yeah.
And I think most of us do. But if you had to pick one or two, which one is your favorite?
One, easily one.
Yeah, one is so good.
Yeah, and that's no it's not disparaging part two. Part two is just more narrative driven. It's more focused on the relationship between Beatrix, as we learn, and Bill, which is great. I love that dynamic. But the first one is so fucking balls to the wall, grisly action, violence, gory as fuck, and that's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I would love to watch the fabled Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, which is both films edited together as one big movie. I've never been able to find a copy of. Apparently, they do exist out there. I'm hoping because next year will be the 20th anniversary of Volume 2 that we'll get some kind of 4K super epic release of both films together.
That would be cool.
That would be nice. I would love that. But as it stands, got to watch 1 and 2 separately. So my question to you, you're well versed in Tarantino. You haven't seen them all, but you've seen most of them. What would you consider to be his masterpiece?
So it changes every single time I watch one of his movies. Every single time. I have always said I think it's Pulp Fiction, just because it's Pulp Fiction, man. But I just recently watched Django yesterday. And I got chills many times watching that movie. I felt like a fucking dork. I'm sitting there getting chills, and I'm talking to I was home alone. My wife was gone, so I'm just sitting there and I'm geeking out over this movie. And then Jamie Foxx says, the line, "I like the way you die, boy," and I was like, this is his best movie. This is his best movie.
I'm not going to argue with that. Django Unchained is a fucking masterpiece and just a fantastic movie. I did it on the show not too long ago with Adam and Mysia, and we had a very spirited conversation about about violence in media and historical accuracy of slavery and all the stuff that movie brings up. And it's a it's a divisive movie. I get why some people have trouble watching it. It's a vicious movie, but slavery was not a cakewalk. Like it was horrible for centuries. So I think this captured it pretty damn accurately.
It does, and not only is it hard to watch it, but DiCaprio had an issue acting in this movie.
No,
he didn't want to, say racial slurs, and Jamie Foxx and Samuel L. Jackson had to talk him into it. I think what Jamie Foxx says that got DiCaprio in the mood was he was like, "Listen, you have to, we're not friends. We are your property. Act like it." And apparently the next day, DiCaprio came in and didn't fucking speak a word to anybody. And then they said action, and it's the scene when they first meet Calvin Candy.
You imagine the fucking mental headspace Leonardo DiCaprio had to enter in order to find Calvin Candy. God. I can't imagine.
No.
I remember Samuel L. Jackson told him, like, "Motherfucker, this is just another Tuesday for us."
Yep.
That was his advice. Like, it's just acting, baby.
Yeah, just do it. But like I said, it changes every time. The opening scene to the whole movie, Inglourious Bastards. Like I say, that's the movie that got me into film. I'm sure I'll watch Inglourious Bastards in a week, and I'll be like, "Oh no, it's this one." But that opening scene is perfect.
Bastards is the one I go back to the most when I'm considering like what his masterpiece is. There's just that movie's so fucking beautifully constructed. It unfolds like a fairy tale. It's fantastic. It's well acted. I love that he has the American speaking English and the German speaking German and the French speaking French. Like, I love that. You don't see that a lot in American film, which is sad. And it's got some of the most tense scenes in movie history. The whole scene in the basement bar.
Oh, and when he holds up the three fingers.
Oh my God. It's so fucking tense. Just this, dialect master trying to figure out who the hell is this guy. You know that he knows that, and they know that he know that. It's just, oh my God.
And of course, the dialect master is there.
Yeah, the guy who knows every dialect in Germany just happens to be having a big boot full of beer.
Yeah,
in the basement.
I love when he's like, "Yeah, my gun's pointing at your balls right now," and Michael Fassbender's like, "Well, my gun's been pointing at your balls since you sat down on our table."
Then Stiglitz just boom right in his crotch. Yeah. Like, that makes two of us.
Yeah, man.
You don't got to be Stonewall Jackson to know you don't want to fight in a basement. Yeah, Bastards is one of my all-time favorites. So when I'm cycling through like the Tarantino masterworks, the ones that keep getting knocked off the top spot and replacing it fluctuates for me between Pulp Fiction, Bastards, Django, Kill Bill 1, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All of those are on equal footing for me.
So just all of his movies,
I gotta say, he's one of my favorite filmmakers for a reason. The guy does not fucking miss. He really hasn't.
I don't think he has a bad. Granted, I've only seen Kill Bill, Django, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Bastards. I think that's it. Oh, and Reservoir Dogs. I just watched that recently. That one was still good, but he has better movies.
Well, I mean, for a first-time filmmaker, it's fucking solid. You told me before we started recording that Jackie Brown and Death Proof were the two that you have not yet seen.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And both of those are, Death Proof's widely regarded as his like worst movie because it's the most like campy and one note. But even that is about Kurt Russell as a killer stuntman, and it's fucking awesome. And it's got one of the hottest lap dance sequences in movie history. And one of the coolest car chases ever with Zoe Bell New Zealand stunt person Zoe Bell literally like on top of a fucking like muscle car driving at 100 miles an hour. It's a real stunt, and it's amazing that she did that.
Oh.
And yeah, so Death Proof slaps. His worst movie, my ass.
Well, then what would you say his worst movie is?
The one I don't think he
Oh,
has any bad movies, but the one I like the least is The Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. Yeah, Hateful Eight. I like Hateful Eight, but I don't know. I like Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know what you would call those types of movies. The one location. Would you call it like a cozy movie? I feel like
The term is bottle movie, movies that take place in one single location.
I like those, and I like the twist at the end that they were under, they were in the basement the whole time. That was cool.
Yeah, I was underwhelmed by The Hateful Eight. I don't know. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times now, and it's a decent watch. I like it, but I also know that this guy gave me Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained and
Yeah.
Kill Bill. It's like my expectations are fucking high with Tarantino.
If you ever want to rewatch it, there is on Netflix, I believe. It's the extended version. It's gotten 4 parts.
4 parts. Yeah.
4 parts. It's long as fuck, but it's really good.
I watched it a couple years ago. Didn't help.
No.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize to me.
But yeah, if I had to go to bat for one right now, it's Bastards.
Yeah. I think that's how you know a filmmaker is good. If someone asks you what their favorite film is and you have a different answer each time, that's how you know that they're good at what they do.
Damn right. That's good. I like that. That's how I feel about Tarantino, about the Coen brothers, about Scorsese, Spielberg, like these, the titans for me.
The only Coen brothers movie that I fucking hate is Hail Caesar. I don't know why I hate it so much. It's just so boring, dude.
Yeah, I don't care for Hail Caesar. I've only seen it the one time, and Austin tells me I gotta give it a rewatch because he rewatched it and he found something in it that he really liked. So I haven't seen it since I saw it at the movies in 2016. So it is overdue.
You didn't like it the first time either?
No.
Oh shit! Maybe we should all rewatch it again.
Yeah. There is beauty and power in the second watch. There's a lot of movies that I despised that I gave a second chance years later after I'd evolved as a person, and I thought they were fantastic. So you got to give some stuff deserves another shot.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Is there any movie that you've watched that like does the opposite?
Yes, that happened recently. Actually, there was a movie I watched a lot as a kid that I loved as a kid, and I watched it recently and thought, yeah, this kind of sucks. And The Sixth Day, that's what it was. Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie from 2000, deals with like cloning. As a kid, I thought, oh, this movie's badass. This is awesome. I watched it a few months ago and I thought, what the hell did I see in this movie? This is terrible.
So mine, it wasn't like the second watch, but there was this movie from my childhood called The Borrowers that I fucking loved. I loved it so much. I tried watching it again recently, and it's still like a fine movie, but I was like, what the fuck was I on? This movie is so lame.
Is that the one where like they call everybody human beings?
Yes, and John Goodman plays, I think, an exterminator. And I will say their costumes, everything like visually about that movie is good. Their costumes are cool, the set design's cool, but it's just boring.
That's a shame. Yeah, I do hate when like a movie I like loses punch when I watch it again. That always feels sad. Like, it's almost like, you're raving to somebody about this restaurant that you loved, and then you go back and the service sucks, and you're like, why did I like this place? Like, this wasn't even good. Now I got to tell everybody I don't like this place, and I told them I like.
That's sad. One day, you won't believe this. The other day, I had Taco Bell, and I was like, maybe I don't like Taco Bell. And then now I realized that I was sacrilege. I can't believe I said that.
I feel like everybody likes Taco Bell, but not a lot of people admit it on camera like you just did.
No, dude, it's so like people like to hate on it because they say it fucks up your stomach. No, it doesn't. No, it
If you've
doesn't.
eaten it at like 4 a.m, yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
fuck up your stomach.
And someone said like, "Oh, but everything on the menu tastes the same." Sure, it might, but like, is that a bad thing? Like you're getting really good bites that are the same.
I was watching this comedian guy named Chris Porter, hilarious dude, and he did a bit in one of his specials about Taco Bell, and he said that there was this college that did a investigation into Taco Bell and released a paper saying that their meat was only like 20% meat. And Taco Bell, in retaliation, took out a full page ad in a newspaper or magazine that said, fuck you, it's 80. Like, that's honest as hell. Like, yeah, it's not all real meat, but it's a B minus. So, give us some credit.
I think now it is all real meat, thankfully.
I love seeing that advertised in a fast food, like now serving like real meat. And I'm like, now serving? What the hell have you been feeding me for the past 20 years?
That's funny. I don't remember where I saw it, but someone did like a study of all the major fast food chains, and apparently Taco Bell is technically the healthiest one because they have the highest vegetable to like other thing ratio.
Yeah, because they fill their taco with lettuce. Like that's what it's like, a little bit of meat, a shit ton of lettuce, and a lot of cheese. Like that's
That's
that
it.
makes sense.
I used to hate their tacos. I'd be like, why the fuck would you go to Taco Bell and get a taco when they have, a fucking quesarito, 5-layer burrito? Like, what are you doing? And then I don't know what happened like a couple months ago. I had a taco from there and I was like, oh, I've been like shitting on this for no reason. This is God's gift to humanity.
Probably gonna have Taco Bell tomorrow.
I'm probably gonna have Taco Bell tonight when we're done recording.
I am out in the hill country, far away from any kind of DoorDash, so not happening
No.
tonight, but I know where there's a Taco Bell within driving distance.
There you go.
Yeah, that's fine. One of my favorite. One more fast food anecdote, and then we'll move on. But I was listening to this guy talk about his brother had a severe allergy to chicken, and they went to McDonald's, and the guy got like a Big Mac or whatever, and his the other guy got chicken nuggets, and his brother was like, "Fuck it, I want to know what they taste like." So he grabbed a chicken nugget, and he took a bite. Nothing happened. There's not enough chicken in there to trigger his allergies, which is scary.
That's disgusting.
So yeah.
My question to you.
Okay.
This movie is very much a revenge story. And, so my question to you is, what are the lengths you will go to enact revenge?
Shit.
And on
yeah.
top of that, is revenge just about getting square or is it about going a little bit extra?
That would have to depend on the situation. I've never been in an opportunity to get revenge, thankfully. Like nobody ever wronged me to the point where I have, my entire life is revolving around destroying them. That's not happened to me yet. I emphasize yet. I guess getting revenge is very much about making yourself try to feel better about the situation and wronging the other party. I would say you got to go one up. Like, you can't just do what they did to you. You got to make, you got to like, you can't call, you got to bet. You got to raise.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, there's no instances in my life or anybody I know who like really got a legitimate revenge.
So I guess a follow-up question that might help you answer the first part.
Okay.
Every time I watch this movie, my opinions change, and it might be crazy for me to think this way, but do you think Copperhead deserved to die?
That was Vernita, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
Do you think that she just could have been not forgiven, but there's
certain situations. Yeah, go ahead.
Because now, granted, we know that Beatrice's daughter is alive, but she didn't. But if she had, I don't think she would have killed her because she's just doing the same. So, what was I watching? And I was like, no, that's fucking stupid. In Stranger Things. Big spoiler right now for season 4. Can I continue?
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna fucking watch it. So go ahead.
Okay. So Elle joins this group of people and they hunt down this guy, who killed Elle's parents. And they want to kill him, but they have kids. This is awful, but if you just kill the father, you're doing the same thing, right? So I don't think Venita should have died. I think she could have done something because you're leaving that kid without a mother. Granted, she doesn't know that her daughter is alive, but that kid's gonna grow up without a mom now.
She's got a dad.
She does have a dad, but I feel like this is awful. But she should have killed the whole family.
Here's the thing. I've been working on a novel for the past few years called Danny Boy, which is an Irish mob story. I think I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a character in there, a Russian gangster, who explains his philosophy on revenge. His father was murdered by a rival gangster, and the gangster did not kill the Russian and his brother. He instead brought them into his employ, and they worked for him for 20 years, at which point Nikolai, the gangster, finally had a moment and killed the other gangster. Because you don't forget shit like that. And also to ensure that no one could ever come back on him for the same shit, he had the guy's entire family executed. His wife, all his kids, his grandkids. He destroyed that entire family line.
Oh, shit.
Because he understood. He waited 20 years for that revenge. And he knows that if he left any one of them alive, it would happen to him. So if you're in the revenge business, you know how to handle shit. Beatrix, I don't think she expected to walk out of this. She went into this whole thing fully expecting to die with Bill. That's why she didn't care who she hurt along the way. But she didn't need to kill the kid because she didn't have any ill feelings towards the kid. She just wanted everyone who wronged her dead. She wasn't thinking about long-term consequences.
Yeah. Well then, okay, so another question is, like, it happens a lot in war movies, right? You're about to kill an enemy soldier and they're just as scared as you, and they're like, listen, I was just doing my job, right? Granted, this is a very small team and they're all like, Stockholm syndrome loyal to Bill. Shouldn't she have just killed Bill?
No, because they all did this to her. They all participated. They all killed her friends, her family, Reverend's wife.
They did, but because Bill told them to.
Yeah, that doesn't make them all innocent in this.
I guess, yeah, especially the fucking bitch with the eye patch.
All right, tell me this. At your wedding, which I went to, it was very nice. Someone showed up with 2 or 3 other people, and everyone just killed all of us, shot you in the head. You woke up 4 years later. Are you just going to go after the guy who organized that, or are you going to want all of them dead?
That's fair. I guess maybe if... Again, it goes back to like a war movie. Like, those foot soldiers, they don't want to be there any more than you do. So if it was,
it's different in this case because they were getting paid for this. They were very much on board.
Fair. Yeah, yeah.
They enjoyed this. Elle especially was like, "This is the greatest day ever because I'm killing that blonde bitch."
That's fair. Yeah. Oh, is that the name of the eye patch lady? Is Elle?
Elle Driver.
That's funny. When I was talking about Elle, I meant 11 from Stranger Things. That's funny.
But yeah, revenge. Obviously, people who are seeking revenge are not thinking straight. They're seeing, they got blinders on. They're seeing red. All they want is satisfaction or some twisted form of justice. Mm-hmm. So they're not thinking about what happens after this. They're not thinking about the bodies they're leaving behind, living and dead. They're not thinking about the lives they're destroying. They're just trying to get theirs. And Beatrix, before she found out her daughter was alive, was very much like, I'm going to mow down anyone who gets in my way. But at that point, she was like, shit, what now? I think she was considering forgiving Bill in part two. I think she considered it.
She was until the conversation that they had, and then she was like, "Okay, you are still evil."
Yeah. I don't want you around.
I heard a theory that's not even her kid.
Oh, that would be fucked up.
Yeah, it's not her kid. It's the eye patch lady's kid.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What else did I hear?
Oh man, that hurts.
I heard another one is that the entire movie is just a bedtime story to her, and Bill is just her dad. Just using. Maybe they got in a fight that night. Um, Apparently, wasn't there like not a rumor? Or I guess it was a rumor, yeah, that there was going to be a kill. There's going to be a third movie called like Kill B, and it was going to be the kid coming to kill Beatrice.
So ever since Kill Bill 2 ended the story, fans have been like, well, what about Kill Bill 3? You left it open. And Tarantino's been kind of mum about that. He's often said, like, yeah, I'm thinking about it, or I got an outline, or no, I'm not doing it. And considering he said he's retiring after 10 films and this next movie is going to be his 10th, I don't think we're ever going to get Kill Bill 3. But yeah, I think everyone kind of expected like Nikki grows up to hunt the bride for killing her mom. Blind L driver teaches her how to fight. And like, yeah, there were options. There were possibilities.
That's true. She never finishes her off.
Nope. She just leaves her blind in a trailer with a black mamba. But the rules of movies, if you don't see a body, they're not dead.
See, like what they could do, obviously, because again, I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but the dialogue, the way it's filmed, it feels like an anime, a live action anime. There's even an anime segment in the movie. What would be cool is if they redid it, if they did the third one as an anime, if it was animated.
Be sweet.
That would be cool, right? It wouldn't be like a full-on movie project with, I mean, Tarantino would have some say in it, but he doesn't necessarily like have to be,
well,
the one.
He's teased out so many different projects that never happened. Like there was going to be a Django meets Zorro movie that got pitched a few.
God. What?
I know, right?
Don't do that.
He was going to do a Bounty Law miniseries with DiCaprio as Rick Dalton and Jake Cahill. Like he was going to do like 3 episodes of Bounty Law.
See, that would have been cool.
Yeah. So, I think he has a lot of ideas, but they don't all make it to the screen, which is probably a good thing. Less is more. Means he's going to go out with like 10 bangers and just go down as one of the greatest directors in history.
Yeah. I also feel like, so I agree with revenge to an extent, but it needs to end at some point. Someone has to forgive, because if no one does, then the girl's going to grow up, kill B. Then her daughter's going to come and kill that person, the kid. It'll just be a never-ending cycle of, you killed my family members, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. That's why you had to end that shit fast. She probably should have killed Nikki. That probably would have been the smart thing to do. But then she's not our hero if she's murdering a child in the first scene.
That's fair. Also, she's going to jail for life.
There's no cops in any of this shit ever. I kind of love that. I mean, she wipes out a giant chunk of the Yakuza and then just leaves Japan with no consequences.
I was going to say 88 of them, but probably more closer to like 95, 96.
Yeah. She creates a giant power vacuum in the Tokyo underworld. She stabs a suburban mother to death, drives away in a very noticeable truck. I mean, the whole thing in the hospital where she kills Buck and like 13 hours later takes off. Like no one found that body. No one investigated that parking lot. Like, I don't know. There's no police in Kill Bill. Makes me laugh.
It's pretty badass that she talked her way out of atrophy in 13 hours. That takes years of physical therapy.
Well, not in Tarantino's world.
Not in Tarantino's. No. Not if you get to look at those tootsies, you know what I'm saying?
Ugh. I don't want to be an asshole, and I really hope this never gets back to Uma Thurman. If so, I'm sorry, but you got some weird looking feet. I'm sorry, but you got to be aware of this. I'm not the first person to tell you this.
Feet are weird, man.
Yeah, but her toes are like as long as fingers. That's weird. That's not right.
Tarantino likes it. They can wrap around his dick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God. Oh my God.
I don't want to kink shame, but why in the feet? Like
I've
what
never,
does?
I've never understood that either. I don't know.
I don't get it. I could honestly, like, sure, I'd sell pictures of my feet to men. Why not? They don't know who I am. They're just my feet. Who cares?
I have thought about it.
Right.
I've been in financial straits to the point where I'm like, shit, they never see my face. Am I really I can get away with that. I've thought about that as a business model. And you know what? I've got some neat looking feet. I could probably pull that off. No. Freaks. Freaks everywhere. Freaks. I'll kink shame all day. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Yeah. Revenge is a dish best served cold, as the Klingons once said. You gotta, if you're gonna kill somebody, you better make sure you kill everybody that person loves so they'll never kill you. It's not a healthy way to live.
No.
Well, let's talk about how this movie came about. The origin of a Tarantino film is always kind of fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So Tarantino started formulating Kill Bill right around the time he was working on Pulp Fiction. In fact, the fake pilot that Mia Wallace starred in, Fox Force 5, is remarkably similar to Kill Bill. And a lot of people have said that, there's a popular theory that Kill Bill is a movie that was made in Quentin Tarantino's universe that like Jules and Vincent would go see, starring Mia Wallace as the bride,
100%.
which is awesome. I love that. He and Uma Thurman developed the character of the bride together. They worked on this together, why it's credited to Q and U.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. He never pictured anybody but her in the role. Originally, she was going to pass. She didn't want to star in it, but he was like, I think he gave her the script for her birthday and was like, please, I need you.
Were they a thing or something?
They dated briefly. But then there was an incident, or actually, I think they dated like years after this, but their professional relationship ended after Kill Bill 2 due to an accident she suffered on set that he was pretty much responsible for.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. There's a scene where she's filming in a car, in like a little sports car driving through the jungle. And she told him, like, I'm not comfortable driving that car. It's, the seat's in a weird spot. My legs don't quite reach the pedals right. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Can we get a stunt driver? And he was like, we're not getting a stunt driver. Like, I trust you. You'll pull it off. You'll be fine. Go. And she crashed the car and hurt her neck permanently. And all the trust was gone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But I think they reconciled a few years ago. Then they dated briefly and then they broke up. And then he got married to somebody else. And now he's got a kid. You imagine Quentin Tarantino being your father.
That's weird. And then is she married to Ethan Hawke, or is that a thing of the past?
Yeah, they were married. He cheated on her. They got divorced. And Maya was the kid they had.
Yeah.
And Maya has been in a few of Tarantino's movies since she's now like a teenager.
She really?
Yeah, I think she was one of the hippies in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
that's funny. She's also
in Stranger Things.
Yeah,
good for her.
Your resentment to Stranger Things because it's popular is beautiful.
It's not so much that it's popular, it's that everybody I fucking know has been like, you haven't seen Stranger Things? Oh my God, stop doing what you're doing right now. And you go watch this crazy show. So, and I'm just like, no.
It's my view on it. It is crazy that you haven't seen it. It is good, but like I'm not gonna ever rewatch it. I tried and I'm like, this is fucking boring. I don't want to watch this again.
I don't see myself. I'll tell you what, if I meet the love of my life and she adores that show, then I'll watch it.
You don't need to watch it. Let me I know I used to tell you need to watch it, but that's when it was like still like out and on. You don't need to watch it. It's not that good. I mean, that's not true. It is very good, but you don't need to watch it.
You keep backpedaling so fast, you're going to fall over.
I know. It's like, you don't need to watch it, but it's good.
I don't know. If I can put some distance between it, let's say 25 years, then Maybe when I'm in my 50s and I'm like, you know, blinking to watch like, my like phone movie tablet shit that's like drilled into my brain and I'm like trying to watch something. Then if Stranger Things pops up on like Netflix Classic, I'll watch
Netflix
it.
classic. Heads up, this is not an immersive VR experience. This is just a screen. Are you sure
I
you would
bet
like to proceed?
I bet in the future you'll be able to like like have a microchip implanted in your spine that like gives you the experience of having watched it without actually watching it.
Man, I don't know how to tell you this. Elon Musk is currently trying to develop a chip to put in your brain to listen to music.
Can't you just listen to music?
Yeah, but yeah. But that's boring. That's dumb. That's boring shit. This is
Elon Musk is the last person I would let put anything in my head.
yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with you there.
That's why. Just listen to music. God, people are stupid.
Yeah, but
Okay.
then you have to go find headphones.
No,
You
you
gotta
don't.
open your phone. If you just have the chip, you can be like, I want to listen to, I don't know, the Beatles, and boom.
What if your chip malfunctions and you've got achy breaky heart going on in your head 24/7?
That's why suicide boosts at this point will be a thing. So,
That's a living hell. I wouldn't.
imagine it's like, because now when your iPhone breaks, you just go to a phone repair. If your chip breaks, you got to go to like a brain surgeon.
Oh, I bet they'll love that. Do you ever have those dreams where like you're dreaming and your alarm goes off, but you don't wake up and your alarm is in the dream and your dream now turns into where the hell is that noise? Why won't it stop?
All the time.
That is reality for the people with the music chip.
Hold on. Okay, so this is the worst version of that. I don't know why I did this, but I changed my I changed my alarm sound once to the song that Mike Wazowski sings at the end of Monsters Inc. You know, like the fake show that they're going to put on. I don't know why I did that. So my dream became I was in the Monsters Inc. universe and I was trying to get him to shut up. And I remember I would keep shaking him and he just kept singing in my face. And I'm like, please stop. I'm trying to sleep. And he just wouldn't stop.
That's hysterical. See, why would you want to do that to yourself when you're awake? Also, people are going to hack that shit and like just have like, fucking soccer horn noises going off in your fucking head.
Oh man. I mean, there's
Imagine
devices.
you're just walking down the street and all of a sudden you hear like, like screaming in your head and it's like someone hacked your chip.
Someone just put whispers in your chip. You think you're going crazy?
Oh my God. I would learn how to hack those just so I could do that to people.
No.
That's ridiculous. I hope there are people who are going to pay to do that and
Yes.
they get what's coming to them. So Tarantino spent a year and a half writing Kill Bill, frequently around Uma Thurman and her newborn daughter Maya, and their relationship influenced the character greatly. She wasn't originally going to be a mom; the daughter was going to have died, but her relationship with her daughter influenced the character, and he thought, if Beatrix is a mother, she's more relatable. She's got something to fight for, Many of the bride's characteristics were originally part of the character of Shoshana Dreyfus in Inglourious Basterds, which he had written before Kill Bill, but wouldn't be filmed and released until 2009. The original idea for Shoshana was for her to be an assassin with a list of Nazis she planned to kill. Tarantino ended up changing the character drastically and giving the traits to the bride, which I kind of like. I like the idea that Shoshana is a little bit more of an innocent victim in the Holocaust who takes matters into her own hands.
Yeah.
Like, I love that character. She's one of my favorite of his
great.
characters.
Yeah. Also, what did she say? Au revoir, Shoshana. He yells after her.
That's so creepy. Do you think, all right.
He knew. Yes.
He knew in the restaurant. He knew.
He knew, but I feel like he was like, you got away fair and square. I don't need to kill you.
I feel like he was fully planning to kill her, and then the issue with Aldo and the dynamite got in the way. I think he got sidetracked.
You think that's why he was there? No, he was there. I don't know.
Well, the big one for me is when he puts the cigarette in the strudel. It looks like a little house.
I didn't notice that. But
I
he
think
says
that was his way of saying, like, I remember you from the cabin in France.
yeah, man. I think he knew, like, he probably found out. I think he knew who she was her entire life. He's been keeping tabs on her. He knew exactly who she was the whole time. But I think he's evil, but I think I don't want to say fair, but I feel like he is the type of person that's like, you got away? Sure.
See, I disagree because the whole bit with Bridget von Hammersmark when he
Oh, yeah,
strangles her,
that's fair. Yeah.
he doesn't let anyone get away. Like
Yeah,
no
that's
one.
fair. Yeah.
I think that he was fully prepared to embarrass her in front of the high command, have her like sent to Berlin to make an example of, and he was gonna do that. And then the whole situation with Aldo, the Dynamite, and Bridget von Hammersmark came up, and then he saw like, oh, I'm taking care of this now. Like this is a much bigger deal. So I think he got sidetracked.
Yeah, but he didn't. But he doesn't care about the Nazi party. He wanted to get. He was like, I'm going to buy my freedom right now.
Yeah, that's what became pressing. He was like, I have a way to end this war right now. I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's interesting.
We have yet to actually. We've never done an Inglourious Bastards episode on any of. We've never done it. We've talked about it many times, but we've never actually done Bastards. We got to do that.
Yeah,
we got to figure that out. We've talked like if you take all the bits and pieces we've talked about Bastards in every other episode, we'd have like a 3.5 hour long episode on the movie. It comes up a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
It is so good. The character of Bill, who is largely a looming shadow in this first volume, was written for Warren Beatty. Dick Tracy was Tarantino's first choice for Bill.
That's weird, man.
Yeah, I don't see that at all.
No, what the fuck?
Yeah. As he further developed the character to have a larger presence and a knowledge of martial arts, Tarantino rewrote the character for David Carradine, who did end up accepting the role. Carradine famously had his long-running TV show Kung Fu, where he played a wandering nomad who knew Kung Fu. Supposed to be Bruce Lee, but the studio said no Asian's going to be a lead on any TV show at our studio. God. So they cast a white guy. Oh, yeah. Beatty ended up turning it down anyway, as he didn't want to be far from his family while they were shooting in China. So he was like, nah, I don't need to go to China. And Tarantino also briefly considered Bruce Willis.
No. What the hell?
Bruce was almost Bill.
Oh my God.
Like Carradine brings this weird Zen quality to Bill that just works. You believe that the entire world is afraid of this guy.
Yeah, no. I think casting was a good choice.
Shortly before filming began, Uma Thurman became pregnant, and Tarantino delayed production because he couldn't imagine anybody else in the role. He's like, I'm only doing this with Uma. I will wait. He said the most difficult part of production was focusing on action sequences instead of the snappy dialogue he's most known for. He had never really done big set piece action sequences like this, and he had to learn how to do that while also balancing his signature quotable dialogue. And I think he pulled it off.
Well, there's like an 88 person massacre in this movie, so
yeah,
I wonder if anyone's actually counted.
Oh, I'm sure there's body counts all over YouTube.
Just see if it actually is 88.
Let's see. Kill Bill, Volume 1, death count. Okay, so between several members of the Deadly Vipers and Oren's elite Crazy 88, the Bride dispatches about 62. Because there's not actually 88 people. Bill says that in the second one. They just called themselves that. So she killed about 62 people.
I didn't remember that. Damn.
Yeah. But he's talking to Bud, and Bud's like, did she really cut through all 88? And Bill's like, they're not really 88. They just called themselves that because it sounded cool.
No, it doesn't. Actually, yeah, it does. The Crazy 88 is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Kill Bill was intended to be one film, but doing so would have meant Tarantino had to cut a lot of scenes to make it fit within the constraints of a single film. Let's say, cut this down to 2.5 hours, 3 at max. Imagine what we would have lost from both movies.
Yeah, no.
Like probably the whole Pai Mei prequel bit in part 2, the anime sequence in the first one for sure. And ultimately, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but the film's savior was Harvey Weinstein.
No, God.
Yep.
His name is Harvey Weinstein, and he's here to fuck.
Oh, God. His name's Harvey, and he's here to party. I couldn't help it.
This is Harvey.
So I feel dirty just saying that. So yeah, Harvey Weinstein's the guy who suggested that Tarantino split the film into 2 parts so we could preserve everything. Harvey Weinstein's currently serving time for rape, and I hope he dies in prison.
I'm sorry. It's funny. You're like, yeah, he saved this film. Also, he's serving time for rape currently.
Yeah, because he's an absolute monster. He's Hollywood's boogeyman for like 40 years.
Yeah,
and he gets everything that's coming to him. So,
100%.
Yeah, ugh. The film was a huge success, grossing 180 million on a budget of 30 million. At the time, that was his most successful box office, which I think was then topped by either Bastards or Hollywood. It has an IMDb score of 8.2, Rotten Tomatoes score of 85%, audience score of 81%. Critics' consensus reads, Kill Bill is admittedly little more than a stylish revenge thriller, albeit one that benefits from a wildly inventive feat of style. Little more than a stylish revenge. What did you think it was?
What are you talking?
The Shining is little more than a horror movie that takes place in a hotel. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Toy Story, it's just a fucking animated movie about toys. Don't expect anything more from it. Okay.
God, yeah, you could do that to any movie ever. Barbie is just a live action movie about Barbie dolls, not much more than that. Yeah. God. Rotten Tomatoes, I don't really follow them or believe in them anymore, but they're always good for a nice little soundbite.
You know who is great is Screen Rant. Quick shout out to screenrant.com.
Screen Rant, yep. They're cool. I like them. I like them very much. No, we're not going to explain that. That's private. That's personal. Let's talk some categories. There's definitely a lot to talk about in this movie. I have multiple for everything. Where do you want to start? Scene, performance, music, or dialogue?
Let's start. Let's go in the order we always go in. Let's start with shit. What do we always start with? Dialogue. Is that what we just go with? Start with? Yeah, we start with dialogue.
Okay, sure. Oh, that was just hysterical. Okay. So I've got three lines written down that I really, really like. There's a lot of great moments in this movie, but my first one's from Earl McGraw when he's going to the murder scene, and son number one says something about oh, see, Dad, it was a goddamn massacre, and Earl goes, "You better shit can that blasphemy, boy. You're in a house of worship." I love that. Shit can that blasphemy. So Texas. That's such a fucking Texas thing to say. Earl McGraw. That guy would pop up also in From Dusk Till Dawn and Robert Rodriguez's film Planet Terror as the same character.
That's crazy that he was doing fucking, that connected universe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a few filmmakers who were doing that shit way before Marvel thought of it. Kevin Smith was doing it. James Whale was doing it. It existed before Marvel did it. They just did it really well at first.
My line, I think I might be reading too much into this line, but it's right before Allred dies. It's in Japanese, but she says, so before this line, she basically says, like, "Oh, you're just a white girl playing with samurai swords. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do?" And before she dies, she says, "For ridiculing you earlier, I apologize." And to which the bride says, "Accepted." I read, I think, a little bit too much into that. I think Allred was like saying, "Sorry, I killed you." And she's like, "It's all good. I'm still going to fucking kill you, though."
Nah, you were definitely reading into that too much. She didn't apologize for
Really?
that. No, she didn't. She's the most
She knew she knew
bitch
she
in
was going to
all
die.
of Tokyo. She didn't give a shit about Beatrix.
I think she knew she was going to die. I think she was like, "Hey, I'm sorry."
No, I think that was very much a gesture of respect for the previous insult, but not about the
Really?
entire assassination of her family. I don't think so.
No, I think that's when she realizes that she's going to die. For
I
sure.
think all of them all of them wanted to save themselves. None of them were sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean that's what I mean. Like she didn't mean the apology, but I think that's like what she meant. That's what she was trying to say.
Okay. I have a line from that scene too when the bride does kill Oren, slices her scalp off, and Oren says in Japanese, "That really was a Hattori Hanzo sword." That's a great last thing to say. Like, yep, shit. The implications of that, not just, oh, I'm gonna die, but that guy broke a blood oath to give this woman a sword. She's gonna get through everybody.
Yeah.
Like that's Oren realizing, like, yep, we're gonna lose.
Well, that's insane. So if I'm correct, Hattori Hanzo made all of them their swords, right?
No, no, no. He made the bride a sword. He's not the only guy making samurai swords. He's the guy making the best samurai swords. The bride has one, Bill has one, and Bud has one he got from Bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And his method of sword making is like known to nobody. That's why whatever he's doing, he's making the most dangerous, respected swords in the business. And he hasn't made one for 28 years. And now all of a sudden there's a new one, which means everyone's rumbling about like, what the hell does this mean? So yeah, really cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
Another
Go ahead.
one. It's not like I just thought it was funny. It's when the sushi bar guy is like, "I'm not bald, okay? I shaved my head." It's like, okay, so you're still bald.
I love the bit where he's like, if this were the army, I'd be general by now. And Hanzo's like, oh yeah, well, I'd be emperor, and you'd still pour the damn sake to get the sake. Yeah, their whole interaction's hilarious. I love when the bride puts down every member of the Crazy 88 and then comes face to face with that like 15-year-old kid. And
Yep.
she's just like, are you fucking kidding? Like she gives him this look of like, what the hell are you doing here? And like spanks him with the sword and says, this is what you get for fucking around with Yakuzas.
Yep.
I love
That was good. Hattori Hanzo has a line I like. It's how I feel about revenge. It's about revenge. He says, "Revenge is never a straight line. It's a forest, and like a forest, it's easy to lose your way, to get lost, to forget where you came in."
Yeah, that's good. It's good. I mean, he still gave her the sword, but that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to know Bill and Hanzo's relationship. Like what Bill did to Hanzo that made him immediately revoke the blood oath and start making her a sword.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, he was a student somehow in some form.
Yeah. Well, Bill learned from the best. He trained with Pai Mei, he trained with Hattori Hanzo. Like this guy wanted to be the most dangerous man on the planet.
Yeah.
And he pulled it off at some point.
Bill's the man.
I love that. How'd you find me? I'm the man. Fuck yeah. Awesome. I know it's crass and it's sick, but I do love the line, "My name is Buck and I'm here to fuck."
Yep.
It's such a sick fucking thing to say, especially in the context of this movie.
Yeah.
And apparently, like that came out of I read in Tarantino's book Cinema Speculation that came out of a guy he knew who named Buck who would just say that.
That's oh my god! Imagine being that guy.
Name is Buck, and you ever see this edited for TV on like TBS or something?
No.
it's hysterical because they edit the movie to be like TV PG-13, and he says, "My name is Buck, and I'm here to party," which kind of takes the sting out of it a little bit.
Oh my god, man!
His
That
truck
whole
says
scene
party.
is-
His truck says party wagon.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
Does it still show the whole like fight scene at the end?
I don't know. I never saw that part. I just saw the Buck part because I was like, I don't want to watch this here.
Oh, man.
I love edited for TV R-rated movies. It's some of the greatest source of accidental comedy. My God, my favorite one to date is The Big Lebowski on TV when Walter famously says when he's confronting Larry over the car, and he's like, "This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass." The TV version is, "This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps."
Well, they have to. I'm sure they have to pick dialogue that somewhat matches what they're saying.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. It's not like they're overdubbing. Like, they'll film two sets of scenes for.
Oh, really? I thought they overdub.
Sometimes they do overdub, but sometimes they will film entirely separate scenes. And in that case, you could do better than find a stranger in the Alps. You're the Coen brothers. You can do better than that.
My God.
Oh my God. Die Hard 2 has a good one too. John McClane's famous yippee-ki-yay motherfucker catchphrase. In part 2 on TV, it's yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. This is all real. You can all look this up on YouTube. This is all real.
I unfortunately have never seen Die Hard. I don't know how I've never seen it, but I've never seen it.
Well, this Christmas is a good opportunity to watch Die Hard.
I will watch it. I used to think that it wasn't a Christmas movie, but my friend explained to me, is like, okay, would the plot still be happening if it wasn't Christmas? I was like, no. And he was like, then it's a Christmas movie.
My rule of thumb is if it takes place at Christmas, it's a fucking Christmas movie. If there's a Christmas tree in the background, then it's a Christmas movie. Batman Returns, Christmas movie. Iron Man 3, Christmas movie.
That's fair. I do also, because I think like the whole entire Harry Potter series is like a holiday season movie because it's Christmas and a lot of the movie.
I will give you Sorcerer's Stone and Order of the Phoenix because there are Christmas scenes in those movies, and Deathly Hallows Part 1. But yeah, I think, and why is anybody debating this? Watch whatever you fucking want at Christmas.
Yeah,
I don't care. If I want to watch fucking, Predator 6 times, then Merry Christmas to me.
Ooh, Merry Christmas.
In fact, actually, I have a Christmas Eve tradition with my cousin. For like the past 3 or 4 years, we have watched Muppet Treasure Island on Christmas Eve.
Oh my God.
Not Muppet Christmas Carol, which would make sense, but Muppet Treasure Island.
How did it start? Did you like mean to watch Christmas Carol and you just accidentally clicked on Treasure Island and were like, fuck it?
No, one year I was just like, you know what? I want to watch Muppet Treasure Island. And I watched it. My cousin happened to be there and he was like, this is cute. And then we watched it every year after. Except for last year. I think last year we watched Step Brothers. But yeah, I typically don't watch Christmas movies on Christmas Eve. I don't know why. It's turned into kind of a tradition to not do
That's
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because of Step Brothers, I only refer to John C. Reilly as curly-headed fuck, which I think he actually says that to Will Ferrell, but still.
Yeah, Will Ferrell says it to him, so you're
okay.
Correct.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Funny shit. Okay, let's move on. Let's do performance. So obviously everyone in this movie is fantastic. There's no weak link here. But if you had to give the award of best performance to somebody in this movie, who gets it?
I mean, that's gonna be Uma Thurman. Come on. I mean, Quentin Tarantino wanted her for this role for a reason, and she plays the role perfectly.
I agree.
Really, it's like when she wakes up in the hospital and she's like screaming and crying, that's hard to watch. She's believable as someone who has literally had her entire life ripped from her. So perfect.
I agree. And I buy her, her desire, her need, and her furious fight for revenge. Like when when she's eyeing Sophie in the bathroom and she's just glaring at her with this absolute just like hatred. It's like, you
Yep.
fucking eye that, man.
Yep.
I will say, I think Uma a little better in volume 2.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I do think she's great in this. However, I give the performance award to Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu was great. Yeah.
I didn't think so. When I first saw this, I only knew Lucy Liu from Charlie's Angels.
Mm.
So I didn't know she had that in her, that kind of fury. And the scene where she's like, she cuts off Tanaka's head and is like,
Yeah.
I'm only gonna say this once. That's where I'm like, holy shit. Yep, she's the boss of Japan. I get it.
Yep.
Fuck. Oh, yeah, she does so much acting in this movie with just her eyes. That is so good.
She really does, honestly. It's funny that every time we do this, we always pick the opposite characters.
Oh, that's funny. Whenever I did this with Austin, we're usually on the same page, and with you, we're usually on opposite, which is interesting.
What's the last movie we did?
Sunset Boulevard.
Oh yeah, we gave the opposite people. Yeah, that's funny.
Yes. But like Vivica A. Fox is fantastic as Vernita.
Yep.
We don't get a lot of Bill in this, but the bit we do get is so overwhelming.
Yeah. If we ever do part 2 and I'm part of it, he'll probably take it for part 2.
We probably will. Honestly, like in January or something. We're gonna do Kill Bill part 2 for sure. But yeah, I love just the little like the opening where he's talking about why he's doing this and like the handkerchief with just Bill on it. I love that detail.
Every time there's like a small detail like that in a Tarantino movie, I just hear it. Respectfully, he has a stupid voice. So anytime I see a thing like that, I always picture him in his stupid voice and his stupid face being like, no, you got to get your name on the handkerchief in the shot. And that has to be just like that. Instead of saying Bill's name, can you write it in the window for me, please?
You're not wrong. He does have a very irritating. It's weird that like so much genius comes out of this like kind of weird looking dork. Pretty much,
he's a dork. Yeah,
Pulp Fiction. The York clothes, motherfucker. But yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. Why? What are you doing? Oh yeah, the dialogue. It kind of seems like a Western / anime. The way they talk in this movie, they don't talk like that in other Tarantino movies. Like the wordage that they use, the slang, it's weird.
This is a like hyper realistic horror or a hyper realistic Tarantino movie. Like it does feel like in the violent world of Tarantino, this is a movie that would be made in that world.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And only he could make the line "silly rabbit tricks are for kids" kind of badass.
Yeah, that's weird. The whole like when her and Venita, yeah, Vernita, yeah. When she's like something, I beseech you with my daughter. I'm like, no one talks like that.
Oh, Beatrix is just like, bitch, stop right there.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
I love the little detail that like the cereal with the gun hidden in it is called Kaboom.
Yep, that was cool.
Love that. I love Tarantino's ads for his fake products because he hates product placement, so he makes up his own products, like the big Red Apple cigarettes ad in the airport, stuff like that. Like there's a scene in the House of Blue Leaves right before the Crazy 88 fight where the bride is walking on the floor and the camera's pointed up at her shoes, at the sole of her shoes. And if you look carefully, on her shoe is a message. It says "fuck you" on the bottom of her shoe.
Instead of Puma or whatever, Adidas, whatever.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's "fuck you." I love that. What's her name? Julie Dreyfus as Sophie. Very good.
Yep.
Just a ridiculous character who's way over her head, and I love that she just ends up like thrown off a hill into the hospital.
Do we ever see everything that she got cut off?
No, I think she started talking before the bride cut off anything else. Yeah, she just lost her arm, but we never see her again. I think Bill killed her.
Probably, yes.
Um,
Yeah, like that part, man. No one talks like that when he's like, I want him to know that I know, and I want him to know what I know and that I know.
yeah,
Like,
but to be fair, the way people talk in a Tarantino movie is not exactly realistic conversation. It's just fucking cool.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I want to give props to Chiaki Kuriyama as Gogo, one of the most psychotic schoolgirls in movie history.
Yeah.
I think she appeared in Battle Royale, and Tarantino was like, "I want her in my movie," and put her in
Oh
the
shit,
movie.
she is in Battle Royale.
Yep. She's been typecast as a psychotic schoolgirl.
Well, perfect. Who would have
Yeah, I'm
known?
not gonna lie. This movie in Battle Royale, I'm a little creeped out by Japanese schoolgirls.
Yeah.
I just assume they're crazy. An audition certainly didn't fucking help. Anyway, she's fantastic in her brief bit as Go-Go. Gordon Liu, fuck yeah, as Johnny Moe, and later as Pai Mei in part two.
Is that the same guy?
Yep. Gordon
Holy
Liu,
shit,
old
dude.
school martial arts guy. He was in 36 Chamber of Shaolin. Like he's old school. He was a git. And
I need to
speaking of
fucking
old school, motherfucking Sonny Chiba as
yeah,
Hattori
Sonny
Hanzo.
Chiba. I was about to say that's
Oh yeah.
crazy.
I recently watched the Street Fighter, his big franchise in Japan in the 70s. They weren't great, but the first one, he kicks ass in the first one
Oh yeah.
as just this brutal, ruthless son of a bitch who will kill anybody for the right price.
So the games are based on the movie, right?
This has no connection to the Street Fighter games at all. It's just called the Street Fighter.
Oh well, that's lame.
Well, it was in the 70s. There was no Street Fighter game yet, so blame the games.
Yeah. I'll blame the game.
I haven't seen the movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia because I don't really know anything about Street Fighter. I never pursued that or played it.
Yeah, it's the same font and everything.
It's not though.
It's the same font.
No.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the right movie?
Yeah, it's kind of the same font.
Street Fighter 1994 is the same font because that's based on the movie. 1974 is in Japanese. I don't see the font.
I think I am looking at. Yeah, it doesn't have a gear on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're looking at. Anyway,
yeah, I'm looking at the fucking. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Sonny Chiba kicks ass, and it's cool that they got him to do this.
Yeah,
if I'm going to believe anybody as this like iconic, legendary sword maker, it's going to be Sonny Chiba. Does that cover the major? Oh yeah, there's what's his name? Michael Bowen as Buck.
Oh God,
that guy plays slimy sons of bitches all the time. He's so good at it. He plays Uncle Jack in the final season of Breaking Bad. Really twisted fucking neo-Nazi asshole.
God,
you'll meet him eventually. And he just plays a lot of sick fucks. And Buck might be his number one twisted fuck. I mean, a guy who is selling coma patients to rapists.
God, dude, that's so fucking awful.
No, that shit happens, man. It like I'm sure I was reading about this one woman, like she'd been in a coma for like a few years and she was about to give birth because someone had raped her in her sleep while she was in a coma and got her pregnant. And she was about to give birth, and they started like DNA testing the orderlies, and I think they got one.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, people are monsters. And suddenly, movies like Armageddon and The Core suddenly make sense. Yep. Let's just wipe this shit anew and start fresh. We don't deserve to be here.
That's fucking awful, man.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, but he gets his fucking Achilles sliced, which makes me cringe every time.
Oh, yeah. And then gets his neck broken by a door, which is beautiful. Yep. A little twitch in his foot. You earned that, you fucking pussy wagging son of a bitch. Also, who has a yellow truck with red seats? What a obnoxious piece of shit.
With the pussy wagon written on the back.
Yeah. God. They didn't vet this guy like before they hired him at the hospital. Like,
I know, yeah.
You're telling me this dude doesn't have a record? It's just sexual assault for like 8 pages.
Yeah, he seems fine. Hire him for the coma patient area.
Yeah, like what the? How the hell did he get a job here? Whose brother is he?
And he's a Christian. He has a cross necklace. I don't know.
I don't probably. I mean, not to fuck it, I'll say it. Rape and the church tend to go hand in hand.
Really do? Yeah.
Let's do music. Tarantino and music. Another thing that goes hand in hand. Tarantino knows how to pick a fucking soundtrack every single time.
He really does. Obviously, man, there's a lot we can talk about. Battle Without Honor or Humility when they're walking into the what's called the Blue Flower,
the House of Blue Leaves.
The House of Blue Leaves, yeah. That part's fucking great. If I keep talking, I'm going to mention more. But whenever I hear that song or think about the movie, I think of either the song or the movie, respectively.
It's a great, calm before the storm, setting all the pieces where they need to be song to just be like, this is the bride versus the Yakuza about to go down.
Yep.
I love the opening song on the opening credits, Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down, the Nancy Sinatra version. Sets us up for a very sad parable about a broken heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great.
The iconic whistle of Twisted Nerve. Oh my God.
Daryl Hannah actually fucking did that.
Really?
That is the beginning of it until she the camera cuts away from her and it kicks into the song. But the beginning with her just like walking towards the camera, Daryl Hannah insisted she could do it and she did.
Holy shit, man.
Right. And yeah, that's creepy as hell. Just, on her way to assassinate Beatrix. How fucking close she got.
Yeah.
Always gets me, man. Like her finger was on the plunger.
Yeah.
Bill. I love the bit called The Lonely Shepherd, where she it's when she has when Hanzo agrees to make the sword. It's like that whistle.
Oh yeah.
That leads into the music when he's talking about I've done what I swore an oath to never do again, and I could say without ego, this is my finest sword. If you meet God on your journeys, God himself would be cut. Like shit.
So good.
Hell of a salesman, Hanzo. I want one.
I like Run Fei Run. That's a song that plays during Oren's anime sequence, her origin story. Yeah. So good. So fucking good.
That whole sequence. We're going to talk about that when we get to the scenes, but yeah, that is fucking gorgeous. I love the Green Hornet theme that plays when she gets to Okinawa. I don't know why. It works. Kind of whimsical.
I haven't seen the Green Hornet, so I didn't know that's what that was, but that's funny.
Yeah, that's the Green Hornet, the Kato mask, like the masks that all the crazy 88s are wearing.
Oh yeah, they're all
That's Kato's mask from Green Hornet. And Tarantino, he really likes just black suits. Like that's his favorite aesthetic.
He does.
Mm-hmm. It's nice. It's a good look.
I guess Woohoo is this name of the song by the 5, 6, 7, 8s.
Yeah.
Just the whole every song that they play at the House of Blue Leaves is great.
I love a Japanese rockabilly band. Like that's just only Tarantino would find that and use it. There was this right around the time this came out, there was a cheap cell phone plan commercial that used that song, and I saw it all the time.
Yeah.
Vonage. That's what it was called. And that song was in every commercial, and it drove me insane. It actually ruined the song for me. No. I have most of this soundtrack on my iPod. I don't have that song.
I listen to a lot of his soundtracks, just going about my day.
All right, here's a cool question. Which movie do you think has the best soundtrack?
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Well, score.
Well,
he doesn't have a lot of
Hateful Eight's the only original score he actually has. Django is made up of other film scores, so is Bastards.
Django is up there, but yeah. Yeah, Django's up there, but
yeah. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's soundtrack, just 1969 LA.
that's good. Yeah.
I love the Reservoir Dogs, like K Billy's Super Sounds of the 70s Weekend. I love that.
Yeah. But like Pulp Fiction, let me pull up the dude. Jungle Boogie, Miserlou. I don't know how to actually say it.
Miserlou, yeah.
That's on there. Fucking busting surfboards.
Comanche.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's on there. When the whole diner scene, when that Chuck Berry song is playing, there's so many good songs in both.
I love just Butch driving away from his apartment, listening to Flowers on the Wall and running into Marcellus. Motherfucker. Oh my god. Yeah, he's like, he has an ear for music in a way that no other filmmaker really has.
Yeah, there's a song that plays in Kill Bill during the fight with Oren. That's like really like, like upbeat, but their movements are very like graceful and like calm. And I don't know what the song is, but it's cool.
I don't know what that's called either, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I love the song that plays when Oren gets killed, Flower of Carnage.
Yes.
It's the theme song from a 70s martial arts movie called Lady Snowblood, which heavily influenced this movie. So it's Tarantino doing a little tip of the cap to one of his influences, which is pretty sweet.
Interesting.
Yeah, great shit. And Kill Bill 2 has a great soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
All right. Scene. What are some of your favorite scenes from Kill Bill?
So there's a part during the Crazy 8 fight when the black and white filter comes off and it's just their silhouettes fighting. I love that scene so much. When I think of the movie Kill Bill, I think about that scene, which is weird that that's the scene I think about, but it is.
Yeah, I love that the black and white thing only happened because Tarantino was not able to secure an R rating with that much carnage, so he had to turn it black and white in order to get an R.
Yeah, and the fact it happens when she plucks out his eye is a good placement.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Love that. Is that fucking possible? Can you do that?
Yes, you can rip someone's eye out. 100%. Yes.
Well, I know you can, but like that, like fucking like you're pinching in like 2 seconds. Can you do that?
I don't know. I've never tried.
I know I don't want to test that one, but I'd love to find out.
This is disgusting. Pertaining to eyes, your eyeballs can melt and evaporate because they are just jelly.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I watched something recently that said that. Was it The Haunting of Hill House? Might have been.
I think so. That sounds familiar. Also, I saw there's this post that keeps going around on Facebook. It's just like, I don't know, but it says like during cremation, there is a point in which the meat is cooked perfectly.
Jesus. That's fucking horrific.
Just in time for Thanksgiving.
If I want to be cremated and I want in my will, I want it stipulated, I want to be filled with popcorn kernels.
Oh my god, that would be cool and disgusting at the same time.
Some popcorn.
Oh my god. I've never, thought about being a cannibal, but if I had to eat human meat, I would want Hannibal Lecter from the show Hannibal to cook it for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna try an exotic meat, you got to get the guy who knows how to prepare it the best. I get that.
Have you seen the show?
I saw most of the show. I got halfway through the final season and I didn't finish it.
Is he cooking people? That's people that he's making, right?
Yeah, of course it is.
So he's serving humans to other people?
Yeah, it's part of his.
Why does it look so good?
Because it's cooked meat by a professional. You don't know like whose loin that is. You just know it's a tasty, prepared loin.
My boy's over here making pate, and I'm like, damn, I'm getting hungry.
Well, if I'm like
the scenes, what he's cooking.
Well, Hannibal Lecter in the world is a very renowned psychiatrist, chef, like respected figure, you're not going to think this guy's cooking me a dude. You're not thinking that at all.
Fair. Yeah. Is Hannibal is it a good prequel to what? Because I have not seen Silence of the Lambs.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Work on that. It's not a prequel, it's a reimagining of the first novel, Red Dragon. So it takes elements from some of the other books, but largely it's like Hannibal Lecter helping Will Graham solve other crimes. And also being the big murderer overall at the time, like that they're all looking for.
So okay, never mind.
Yeah. I thought it was a decent show. It just like it got too like
meta.
It got too ethereal. But I'll finish it eventually. I only had like 5 episodes. I should just do that. Okay, scenes. I love the old origin of Oren scene, the animated sequence where we learn that her family was killed by the Yakuza and that destroyed her and turned her into a psychopath.
Yeah. Every time I watch that scene, like when she's under the bed, she sees her dad die right in front of her. And then her mom seemingly is about to get raped, but she doesn't. He probably fucked her dead body, but when she stabs through the bed, I'm like, damn, that's dark. And then it starts raining blood on her. I'm like, okay, that's enough, Quentin. Stop it. You can stop now.
I kept thinking of that Simpsons episode where the kid's like, stop, he's already dead.
Yes.
And then the guy's like a pedophile and she fuck kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll turn you into an assassin. That'll really make you jaded on reality.
Yeah. Yeah. He really wanted to get the word across. He's like, hey, this kid has been traumatized, just so you guys know.
Yeah. But she wasn't content to just, take him down. She wanted to take it all down. She wanted to control the entire Japanese criminal underground, and she did.
I wonder how good of a leader she is. That would be a cool spinoff. An Oren spinoff.
Well, how long into her reign did all this go down? Like, did she even get the chance to prove how effective a leader she was? Like, did this just happen? Because they do seem to be celebrating her ascension.
Yeah, but that was like a year, I think. Like a year has passed.
Okay, so it's been a minute. I think she's pretty effective. I mean, when people say shit to her that she doesn't like, she cuts their fucking heads off and then just moves, carries on. That's effectiveness.
I wonder if she would implement a law like don't kill someone in front of their kid.
I wonder.
Maybe it's a rule: do not create orphans.
That's an interesting idea. I wonder. Yeah, that'd be good. Maybe don't fuck kids. That'd be a good one. That should be the law everywhere. That's just me. If you have an argument against that, I'd love to hear it, but I guarantee you don't. Somebody try to fight that. It's like, well, we don't need that. It's like, why? Why don't we need that?
Because this is America. You're free to make your own decision. Yeah, but why that decision?
Yeah, I would love to see that debate. It's a great way to identify the pedophiles. Anyone who's got a problem with that, it's like, well, arrest that guy.
So when I was in honors English, we had an argumentative essay coming up. And she was like, I want all of you to pick a topic you are extremely passionate about. And she's like, you can choose from this list. And at the time, I mean, I still am, but at the time I was really into global warming and saving the planet. And that was on the list. And I was like, fuck, I'll do that. So she had us write it down on a scrap of paper and give it to her. So she knew what what they were supposed to be about. So you couldn't change it. The next day when we came in, when we were supposed to start researching and writing the paper, she said, so you all have chosen topics you are very adamant about. You are going to write your argumentative paper opposing that. So I had to write a 7-page paper about why global warming is a hoax and why we don't need to care about it. And that's the hardest paper I've had to write. But imagine someone was like, I'm really adamant about not fucking kids.
Oh my God. Yeah, like child abuse or child endangerment or something like that. And they're like, well, this is why I think we should hit kids. Like, Jesus Christ. That's horrible. That's a great teacher move, though. I love that.
Yeah.
Reminds me of my favorite Ron White joke where he said, I got kicked off the debate team for going, yeah, well, fuck you. I didn't get it. I thought I'd won.
That's funny.
That's great. I wish I'd joined the debate team in high school. I think I would have been good at that.
Yeah. You just said, fuck you.
Yeah. Just mic drop right there.
Do it flat. Are you dumb? Okay, Connor, you have to.
You know what? Actually, I probably wouldn't be very good at it because I am not good at hiding my distaste and passion for when somebody does something stupid. That would come out, and it would come out fast.
Yeah.
Another scene I love Hattori Hanzo's introduction, the whole bit at the sushi table where she's kind of feeling him out, and then she reveals, I'm here for Hattori Hanzo, and he breaks the glass and immediately switches to Japanese. Like, what do you need from Hattori Hanzo? I love that.
It's cool that like he's like, well, if you know my name, you definitely fucking speak Japanese. So
yeah, he's like, yeah, no, of course. That whole bit was great, and then just like him showing off the swords and leading up to the bill in the window with the little like Japanese dot on the eye. I love that.
Good. Another scene I like is I kind of like the weird teasers that we get at the end. You know, when it shows Bud and he's like, she deserves her revenge. And then when Bill is like, does she know that her child is still alive? I was like, like imagine watching that for the first time, being like, ooh.
Well, I saw part 2 first, so I knew her kid was alive. Oh. Every time I see Bud, I just think of his like super shitty strip club boss who's just like, I don't know why. I love the line, like, I don't know what car wash you worked at that let you stroll in and like 20 minutes late, but it wasn't owned by me, and I own a fucking car wash.
So weirdly, out of the 5, Bud is my favorite one because I truly feel like he's the only one there just for the money. He's not like, I mean, he's kind of loyal, but he's not like loyal to a fault. He's not like an honorable man. He's just there for the money.
Bud buries her alive
for the money.
There is no justification for that shit. Put a bullet in their head and say you did it. Like,
but
that's some sadistic shit
so
to do to
lazy.
a human being.
It's so lazy.
Wakey, eggs and bacon. Anyway,
yeah, I think that's my favorite scene in part 2. Is
I want to do part 2 right now. Like I feel like it's incomplete. I feel like we're only doing half the movie here.
Yeah, we kind of are. I like I said, a lot of people, including us, view it as one movie.
Yeah. I've never watched just Kill Bill Part 1. If I'm gonna watch that, I'm gonna watch Part 2 immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Obviously the fight with the Crazy 88 is fantastic. I don't remember who. It's a fencing team who plays the Crazy 88. Like, they were all trained swordsmen and stunt people.
That's cool.
Pretty sweet. And that fight is, if they hadn't, if they had just, fought together and didn't run at her one at a time, they would have overwhelmed her fast. But yeah, that's the movies for you.
I like that part. I like her sneaking around the House of Blue Flowers. Not sneaking around, but she's very open about it. That she's there. She just,
no one's looking for her. Everyone thinks she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I love this, but like when Johnny Moe runs into the room and just goes like, fucking love that.
Your mic just peaked.
Fucking awesome. I'm sure that did not come across the way I said, but whatever.
Yo, your mic peaked. I couldn't hear your yell.
Oh, fuck it. I wonder how that's going to sound in the record. Whatever. It sounded awesome in my head and when I said it, so I don't fucking care.
That's funny. That's funny.
You know who I'm talking about. I love the fight with Go-Go. That's like, her talent with the fucking razor ball was really impressive. Kind of an inconvenient weapon, but neat.
I was watching with Caitlin, and when she pulls out the metal ball, she's like, "That's an interesting choice of weapon."
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. She knows how to use it too.
If I was gonna pick, who's gonna win the fight between Samurai Sword and Razor Ball, I would probably bet on Samurai Sword. But Gogo almost takes her out. She almost gets her. Yeah,
I
that's
like
what I've.
kind of the introduction to Gogo when she's with at the bar. She's like, "Do you want to screw me?" And the guy's like, "Hee hee hee." She's like, "Don't fucking laugh. Do you want to screw me or not?" And he's like, "Yes." And she fucking stabs him. Oh my god.
I'm surprised Tarantino was able to get away with the guy's guts spilling out onto her legs. Like that. That was a lot.
That was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Gogo's just like, how the hell did Oren and Gogo like encounter each other? Like, there's a story there.
She probably just heard about her and I was like, oh, okay, this shit.
There's this psycho schoolgirl just killing pervs at some bar. And Oren heard about it. Yeah, probably.
That's a long fight scene too.
Yeah, well, there's seemingly 88 of these fuckers, and they all. I want, like, if you're part of that fight, like part of that club, the Fight Club, if you will, and you've got a sword, you're a Yakuza, but you think you're a badass. You're called in to defend Oren's honor, and you see this blonde chick massacring everybody who comes near her. At what point are you going to be like, this shit's not my fight, and just take off?
Yeah, I think that kid does, but I mean, he's gonna get killed by the rest of the Yakuza, first of all, and second of all, the thing that sets Yakuza apart from the rest of the gangs in the world is that they do work with honor.
That's true. That is true. Like, I didn't think about that. There is a certain element of honor here, but still,
they're like the modern samurai. They're not
fighting.
fighting.
Do you think they all have samurai swords like in the movie?
They do. Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, crazy.
Very crazy. Crazy 88. Yeah, there isn't really a weak scene here. It's just a very well constructed film that's great from beginning to end. 5 out of 5 stars.
The very beginning with Bill and the bride. My one complaint about the movie, you don't need to like blur her name out until the end. It's not like,
well,
just call her B. Like there's
yeah, they could have done that differently, but I get the whole point is like she's supposed to be, a woman with no name, kind of a Clint Eastwood thing. So I get that.
I get that, I guess.
If you look very carefully on her plane ticket, her name, like you can see her name.
Really?
Yeah, she paid with that shit credit card.
That is funny. I was like, okay, she just got out of a hospital. You've been presumed dead for 13 years. Where are you getting your clothes? How are you paying for things? What's going on?
13, I don't know, 13 years might be high. I think it was like 7 years, right?
No, I think it wasn't it?
Here, I got it.
Or was it 4? I don't know. It was a number.
It was definitely a number. We can agree on that.
Might have been 4 years, I think. Yeah.
4 years. It was 4 years. Yeah.
4 years. Yeah. Like, what's going on? Like, how do you pay for that stuff?
Yeah, I guess she might have had some like some go bag ready to go in El Paso that we don't see her get.
I'm sure in her line of work, yeah. But like,
or she just stole Buck's credit card. Yeah, I bet it says like a pussy card or some shit like that.
God, my God.
But yeah, it's fantastic. This is such an amazing movie and a fun watch.
Yeah, it really is.
With that, let's take a look at what Letterboxd has to say on our final segment, What's in the Box.
What's in the fucking box? Give me the gun.
Kill Bill Volume 1, 4.2 out of 5. Beautiful.
As it should.
As it should. And believe it or not, there are some sour assholes who just do not enjoy this.
I can't wait to hear bad reviews for Kill Bill. Actually, I want to find bad reviews for any of Quentin Tarantino's movies.
There's a lot of people who hate him simply because he's weird, he likes feet, and they just think he's uber violent. Which is all true, but the movies are still really good.
People who say like the movie is like too violent. Have you seen, I don't know, fucking Deadpool?
I just don't. If you don't like it, it's not for you. That's great, but like, stop trying to take it away from everybody else.
Mhm.
So I actually have 3 really good reviews and 2 horrible reviews. This first one's from Lucy. Every single time I watch this, I want to buy a Pussy Wagon keychain so badly, but I just can't. I can't do it. 5 stars.
That's funny.
Yeah, I have a bad motherfucker keychain from Pulp Fiction, Jules' wallet.
That's wonderful.
I got it in a souvenir shop in Heidelberg, Germany.
I have Kill Bill's sword.
You have a
I just
Hanzo?
called her Kill Bill. What the fuck am I doing? I have.
I didn't want to point that out because I didn't want you to feel bad.
What am I doing? I have her sword. It's shitty and like not well made, but it's still a katana. That is her sword.
I have a T-shirt that was handed out at the premiere of the film that my uncle got a hold of. It's like a one of a kind.
That's beautiful.
It doesn't fit. Part of my weight loss journey is to fit into that goddamn shirt. Bright yellow. It's not like a very nice shirt, but it's a Kill Bill premiere shirt. Like, I'm not gonna not wear that. This one's from Aaron. If Lucy Liu collects my fucking head, then please do not prosecute her. She caught me slipping, and that's on me. 5 stars.
That's funny.
That's one scene we didn't really talk about that much, was Oren kind of cementing her place as the boss.
It's a good fucking scene.
It's fantastic. I know I can't do it better than she can, so I'm not going to try to say the whole speech.
Yeah.
But I do love that, like, the price of bringing up my heritage as a negative as I collect your fucking head. Like, just no, 0 to 100 as fast as possible. Yeah. You're going to run the Yakuza, you got to be a bad bitch. This one's from Georgia. There was a little bit of film in this bloodshed. 5 stars.
It's good.
Now for the party poopers. This one's from Kai Lucky. She did not killed Bill. 0.5 star.
Oh my god. Well, I have really good news for whoever did that. There's a part 2, baby, and she does kill the Bill.
It's not so much that, like, she didn't even kill Bill. It's she did not killed Bill. It's the horrible grammatical error here that's just killing me.
God. If you look below the title, it does say Volume 1 or Part 1.
Nope, it's Volume 1.
It's Volume 1? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And this last one, this guy sounds so much fun at parties. This is from Jim Mearns. This is a 0.5 star review. Fuck me. There's nothing like a bit of self-flagellation with a barbed whip on your day off. It's been about 1.5 decades since I last saw this. Back then, I just thought it was garbage. This time around, I was both bored and angry. I know that a lot of people do like this, which I'm pleased, as there has to be some saving grace to an experience akin to being locked in a room with Tarantino as he shows you clips of his favorite movies whilst masturbating. Grow up, Quentin. 20 years later, you've still got your pants around your ankles. It's hard to pin down exactly why I hated this so much. It's probably the lethal cocktail of adolescent stupidity, abhorrent plagiarism, and characters about as deep as a yellow puddle under a urinal. Sometimes it's hard to see how he gets away with it. What makes it worse is he retroactively ruins the film he's plagiarizing when you're reminded of this shit. Pros, you can see and hear it perfectly. Cons, you can see and hear it perfectly.
What movie is he fucking plagiarizing?
I don't know. Tarantino has been called out for, like, stealing from a lot of underground, unknown films. There's an argument there. I think he's homaging, but I don't know. But apart from that, I mean, this guy's just angry.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, dude, relax. Did you write a movie about a blonde woman, like, trying to avenge the death of her child, like, 2 years before Kill Bill, and we're pissed that he beat you to it?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What does he mean that characters have no depth? Yes, they do. What are you talking? Yeah, that's like the whole point of the movie.
They have quite a lot of depth.
Yeah.
Jesus. And the whole Tarantino's movies are very masturbatory. He is very much stroking himself the whole time. But you know what? We've all accepted that since Pulp Fiction. We're still going to see the show.
Yeah. We really like looking at his dick.
Pretty much.
We're all there for the money shot.
Dude knows how to make a goddamn money shot.
He does. Yeah.
That's all directing really is just jerking off.
Yeah.
But some people are better at it.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's what I got. That's what's in the box. A lot of pent up aggression that I believe you could work out in a healthy way.
And I guess, I would be upset too if I watched a movie called Kill Bill and they didn't kill the Bill.
Well, not if I knew that there was a volume 1 of a 2-part story. God damn it!
Oh God!
Yeah, there we go. You got any reviews?
I actually don't. No, because no.
Okay, fair enough. This was a blast. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you like the show, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Filmgazm Productions. If you want to suggest films for us to check out, you can email us at filmgazm@gmail.com or send us a message through the socials. Check out our Letterboxd accounts for daily reviews. You search for me at Connor95, and in my friends list, you can find the rest of the team. Check out the website, filmgazm.com, where I have a link to that letterbox. You can also find articles, trailers of upcoming films, and every episode of our show. If you'd like to become a monthly donor to Filmgazm Productions, click on the link in the episode description. From there, click on Support This Podcast. You can choose to donate $1 a month, $5 a month, or $10 a month, and all donations go right back into the show. Thanks to the entire Filmgazm team for their contributions. Thanks to Cooley Cow for our awesome theme music. Thanks to you for checking it out. Next week, we're tackling one of the most beloved films of all time. In fact, this will be the 3rd time overall in the podcast history that we've discussed it. It's celebrating 30 years this year, and it's Caleb's favorite movie, Jurassic Park. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love Jurassic Park?
I don't know, man. I'm sure there's someone on Letterboxd.
There's gonna be some jackass who's like, dinosaurs aren't even real, or some shit like.
There was not one swing set.
That made me laugh. I can't wait to discuss this again. We did Jurassic Park on Oscar Sunday back in the day. We did it on regular Filmgazm. It was supposed to be Caleb's original debut on the show, but somebody we used to have on the team fucked me over on Leprechaun, so that didn't happen. But this time, Caleb's going to get to do Jurassic Park the proper way without rushing it, and we're going to discuss just one of the greatest films of all time. It's amazing. If you're going to execute an entire wedding party, make sure you get everyone. Otherwise, a lone survivor may just hunt you down and get their revenge. Take it easy, keep watching movies, and we'll see you next time.